Welcome back to Sleepless in Mobile. I'm your host, Justin.
And I'm Elizabeth.
This is episode 10, baby. Roman numeral X.
Yeah. Oh, like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Elon
That dude's
Musk's
obsessed with X.
Yeah, he renamed Twitter to X.
Yeah.
A lot of people are upset about that.
SpaceX is his, what would you call that? Space exploration company? Rocket company?
Emery just cried.
Did she?
Yep.
Crap. We'll pause for intermission.
One eternity later.
Oh, we had to take a little intermission there. Emery decided she wanted to have a night trimmer and wake up from sleeping.
Yeah, we just got home, though, so she hasn't been asleep for maybe 20 minutes. So
Hence why we call this Sleepless in Mobile. We do it while she's sleeping.
I will say, Justin got up to go to her while she was crying because I was over here just eating chicken salad. And Justin said, make me some milk pronto. I thought he was just being funny and just wanted me to make him a glass of milk for when he came back. So I literally poured a glass of milk for you. And then I got to thinking, like, I think he meant for her. So I took a bottle out of the pantry and made her a bottle and warmed it up and brought it to him. And then I poured your glass back into the jug.
Why not pour the glass into the bottle?
Because that would have made sense. And you are in here to guide me on the ways that make sense.
It was impressive you heard her with the headphones and stuff on while I was talking. Because I didn't hear.
I can hear her cry even when she's not crying. I'll be in the shower and I'm like, my baby's crying. So, like, I'll go and check on her and she's dead asleep.
That's like Batman has the bat signal, but a baby's cry is like the mom signal.
It really is, but I don't know whether other people do that. I'm sure they do. Where
It's
they hear
gotta
like
be
the
a mom thing, though.
where they hear like the phantom cry.
Oh,
Like there's really not a cry there, but you swear you heard a cry.
I don't know.
But there's really not a cry. But anyway, I guess it's because we hear it so much, we just assume that we heard it. But either way.
Well, this week's episode, we're not touching on motherhood or being a parent.
Yeah. Even though that would be great segues.
We're actually talking about friendship.
Yeah.
And what that means to us and
where it's like evolved from and like how our youth friendships were versus like our friendships now.
Right.
And is it worth it? Like, you know, like,
'cause to me,
what is friendship to people?
To me, friendship is one of the most important things on planet Earth.
And, you know, I feel like I took a lot of my friendships for granted whenever I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
But I also feel like they were more friendships from situation than it really was intentional friendships. You know, like I went to school, so I was in this person's class, so that's why I was friends with them. Not necessarily because I wanted to be their friend. You know, they have an app now where you can like find friends.
Facebook?
No.
No.
That's where you find your Aunt Meryl. No, I'm talking about like there's an actual app. I don't know what it's called. I should have done more research before this started. But there's an actual app where you can find friends, like just friends. Like it's not a dating app. It's legitimately to find friends.
So it's like friendsonly.com.
Now, I know they have an app for expecting mothers, but I would never join that. All the different crime stuff that I listen to and watch, like that's exactly the type of app that somebody would go to try to like do a cesarean on you in their bathroom. You know what I mean? Like,
or that'd be the worst place to find friends because a mother is going through so many emotional swings while she's pregnant.
For. They're looking for other maternal, like other
but I feel like
married, my gosh, they're looking for other pregnant women to become friends with.
I mean, I get no. I understand that, but what I'm saying is it seems like there'd be a conflict of interest there. You know, this mom and this mom, they were having a great time together until they hit that third trimester when all crap broke loose, and then their emotions started coinciding, and it's just
what are you talking about, Justin? Did you experience this with me or something?
No, but I'm just saying other people have experienced said things.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it just seems like
personally.
It seems like a bad place.
If this is like a personal experience,
no. It just seems like a bad place to make friends
like I was a very
because
tame person.
You were very tame during your pregnancy. You actually had a light pregnancy, but anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking
Sorry.
about friendships here.
Back
The
to
point
the
I'm
topic
trying
at
to
hand.
make is if you get two highly emotional pregnant women together, even though they might be really good friends if they wasn't pregnant because their emotions wouldn't be all
I know what you're talking about.
cattywampus.
Their hormones are
Yeah,
getting all
hormones.
jacked
That's
up.
the word I've been looking for this whole
Lord
time.
have mercy. You should not be the one talking about this if you can't
Yeah.
even think of the word.
But anyway, so when you were in school, because I know you have your core friend group that you have now.
Yeah.
You know, but they're from church.
Right. So they're technically childhood friends.
Right.
I don't really have any friends that
What I
I've
was gonna say is-
established since I've been.
No, what I'm asking is, when you were in school, were there any people that you went to school with that were like, you thought you would still be friends with till this day? Or did you
Not
not
really.
attempt to make any kind of connections like that?
It's not that I didn't try to. So my situation may be different from others, and it might be more similar than I think. But so I grew up in a very conservative, strict denomination household, even though it was kind of like back and forth in the household, but that's neither here nor there. So we weren't really encouraged to make friends outside of church because they didn't really want us to have outside temptations, so to speak.
Right.
So it's not like we couldn't, but it really wasn't something that we even needed to do because we did have a big youth group in our church. So I had friends that I hung out with every weekend, like after church. We just did a lot of stuff together because we were so close, because we had so many similarities, I guess.
Right.
And I mean, I had an older brother and an older sister, and they had a lot of friends that were within the church as well. So they had a lot of siblings. So it was just like one big family type youth group situation. But I will say, like, I do like my core group, my core friends. So I have like two main friends, and then obviously one of them got married, so I gained another one. And so I basically have like three core friends that I hang out with a lot. But those splintered off from that youth group. But the rest, like, I still view them as friends, but we're not close at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like, back to your question, like in high school, like I think I was a shy person, so to speak. I mean, I'm very outgoing, but when it comes to making friends, I get a lot of anxiety, and I just, like, a panic in a way. Like, I don't feel like my mom and dad were very good communicators. Their divorce kind of, like, pinned that to the board. Like, they're not good communicators at all. But what I'm saying is, like...
Welcome back to another one of Liz's online therapy sessions.
Whatever. If somebody doesn't like it, they can start their own podcast.
This is my podcast. I'll say what I want.
Exactly. But no, like, I didn't feel like I had a lot of confidence in my friendship making. Yeah, I just didn't. So I didn't even really
Which is
try. And I
weird.
had a lot of friends in school, but it didn't go any further than that.
Yeah, which is
Like-
weird to me because you worked in retail for so long and you're such a good people person.
Yeah.
You would think making friends would be super easy for you.
I think it is easy for me because I can literally talk to anybody. I can make friends with anybody as far as, like, just talking to somebody like me and you were talking now. But when it comes to that extra step of, well, let me have your number and we'll meet together sometime, like, I really haven't got too confident. I wasn't confident then, for sure. Now I'm getting more confident in doing that. But that's a huge step for me to, like, ask for somebody's number or them, like, ask for mine. Like, I don't feel like anybody ever asked for my number as far as, like, friendship. And I get it. Like, I am a quirky, odd person. But I guess that's my other thing. Like, I don't have a lot of confidence in myself as a friend. But I've gotten so much better at that now that I'm getting older. I value my friendship a whole lot more. What about you?
Well, I'll say this. You trying to nurture a friendship is like me trying to nurture a garden. It'll die.
I wouldn't say that. Like, I've gotten so much better at it. Now, as a young person, yeah, it was really bad. Like, mainly because I didn't really value friendship the way I should have, I would say. But I think that's the whole part of growing up. Like,
Yeah.
it's just...
So, for me, there's actually two people that come to mind that I thought would still be ride or dies to this day that fell off we fell by the
It
wayside.
just kind of stopped.
Years ago.
Who?
And
We can blur it out.
I won't say no names.
I'll bleep it out.
Well, Austin's brother Joseph, he and I were really close. He
Really?
he was kind of like an older brother figure to me for years.
Yeah.
Years. And then so I went to a really small. You can leave this name in. You can leave both of them in. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. Leave both of them in. I went to a really small school, so when I was in kindergarten, there was only two of us in the kindergarten class.
That's so sad.
Me and a girl named Lindsay, and we went to school together
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
from kindergarten to 12th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like my school best friend.
Yeah.
And I would go to her house for her birthday parties and stuff, and vice versa. But I think she's a Satanist now, and I'm not even joking. Like, that's how far apart.
No.
That's how far apart as friends we drifted.
She is not.
I promise.
I gotta look her up because I was friends with her.
She was different.
She was
throughout.
an apostolic, wasn't she?
No.
I'm not thinking about the same person.
No, you're not.
Okay, never mind.
But she was always different. She was always quirky the whole time we were growing up, and then she was just kind of after school was out. But now my core group consists of like a handful of people.
You are better at making friends.
Yeah, I
though.
can make friends with anybody though.
Yeah, like I mean, it sounds like I can't, but I really can. Like, I love talking to people, and I don't know, like, I don't know what it is that, like, stops me from just crossing that boundary.
Yeah. For me, it's not like I go out and I'm like, I'm going to make that person my friend.
I know what you mean.
I just end up, when I walk away from it, I end up, they're like, I come across as a likable person, apparently,
Yeah.
I guess. That has to be it.
Yeah.
Most folks know me as a grump. Like, I'm just a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
But, and I don't try to be grumpy all the time. It's
Be
just,
fooling me.
it's just how it happens.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you think about it now, I have, other than family, like excluding my brother, you know.
And these are people that you actually hang out
Yeah,
with. Like, you actually do things with.
I actually do things with these people.
Yeah.
So there's Adam, and there's Tyler, and there's Austin.
Yeah.
Austin is my longest friend.
Yeah, childhood friend.
From childhood. Like, still to this day we talk. We have always maintained connections,
Yeah.
And Tyler and Adam are newer friends. I mean, within the last 6-7 years, I've gained both of those friends. Austin has been in my life for over 20 years.
Yeah. I will say that you got Adam from me.
Yeah, Adam come from you. But he has been a really good friend.
Yeah.
I talk to him.
He is a really great friend.
At least every other day.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes I'll go a day or two without talking to him.
Yeah.
I try to talk to Tyler once or twice a week. Our schedules are so busy now. But I talk to Austin every day because he is like.
Let me dig into this a little bit. I mean, I know it's but two parties, but
yeah.
So you say you talk to him at least how often?
At least every other day. Adam,
So,
you talking about Adam?
yeah.
Yeah, at least every other day.
So is that like something that you make sure that you do, or it's just something?
Well, I mean,
Because I feel like, okay, just say like for me and my friends, like
yeah,
Bethany has been my friend since childhood.
for 20
We went to
years,
yeah.
might as well say.
I mean, we went to church together. That was one of my core
Right.
friends. Adam, we've been childhood friends, same youth group. Ashley, that's his wife, that they just got married, and we've become like super close friends. So those three are the people that I hang out with a lot. And I make sure that I like message them and stuff like that. And we have a group message that we all group message each other with. But I don't really necessarily make sure that I message them every week or like
it's
stuff
not
like that. So
it's not something that I make sure I do.
Yeah, it's just something
but
that
like,
you want to do.
because I have so much in common with those 3 guys.
Yeah.
That we're all the time seeing something and thinking about the other one.
Right. Same. I mean, I do the same thing.
Because Adam and I both have a love of archery, bow hunting, and we connect. That's how we really connected with one another, is through shooting bow and arrow. Mm-hmm. So whenever we see something archery related that we're like, oh, Justin will like this, he'll send it to me, or I'll be like, man, Adam will like this, I'll send it to him. Same thing with Tyler. Tyler and I bonded over fishing. A little bit of hunting.
Tyler working.
Yeah, I met Tyler through work.
Yeah.
And he became like a brother instantly once he and I started working together.
Well, see, like, that's one thing. So at Andrews, whenever I worked there, I became really good friends with Jamie. Yeah. And I love Jamie to death. She's so funny. Like, she is a great person. And we did hang out a few times, like, outside of work. But other than that, like, I mean, I go to her, like, her sister's baby showers and stuff like that, and birthday parties and stuff I try to attend to if I get invited, and stuff like that. But again, those kind of relationships, like, I don't know why, but I feel like I struggle sometimes with those, just to maintain them, or I don't know, like maybe we're in different.
Talking about like a non-childhood friendship.
Yeah, like the newer friendships, I feel like I can struggle a lot there. And maybe it's just because I don't view my own self-worth, or, they have their own established friendships that are like super, super strong. Right. And she does. She has like a ton of friends that are like really impactful in her life, and they do a ton of stuff together. And I'm not trying to say that I want to be one of them. I love you, Jamie. But what I'm saying is, like, it is difficult for me sometimes to want to have a better friendship with somebody. Yeah. And I just struggle in that department. But at the same time, the friendships that I currently do have that are super deep, I do cherish those more now than I used to. Right. Like now, I actually want to invest more time in my friends because I do see the value in them.
Yeah, that's a good first step into nurturing like your friendships and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. I guess I seek out like-minded people.
Yeah, and I mean, I think anybody does, though.
So, like, if
nobody goes into it like looking for what's the word?
Confrontation?
Yeah, nobody goes into a friendship looking for confrontational conversations.
No. And that helps out a lot because Tyler and I are similar in a lot of ways, but
conflicting interests. That's what I was trying to think
conflicting.
of.
I was about to say, I don't think you're using the word right, but
I
didn't know where you were going because I was trying to think of the next thing.
Conflicting interests is what I was trying to.
But yeah, so I mean, and I don't know why. My mom always said, me and my brother both have always been really good at just making friends or getting people to like us and to remember us, or either they may be just saying they like us, but they may remember us for bad reasons. I don't know.
Well, like working retail, you have to get really good at small talk and just like encounters, whether it's like, somebody that's mad, somebody that's happy, somebody that's quiet, somebody that's loud. Like, I can talk to anybody, but it's just because I got so good at that, it's taking that next step,
right? Like
outside of the work environment, taking that next step as far as what to talk about after that has gone away. That'll give me so much anxiety. Oh my gosh. And my sister's the same way. She'll see somebody that she's friends with at Walmart.
It'll dodge them.
And will dodge them. Like,
Ashley
and she doesn't
will walk
mean
through the aisle. She'll walk through the shelving to try to dodge people.
Platform 934. 9 3/4. No, but she will, like, she'll see somebody she knows, and she doesn't mean anything by it. It's just that anxiety that she has, and she will dodge them like crazy. And I don't have it that bad, but I do. Like, it still manifests itself.
I will dodge family members,
now,
especially some of my family that I don't want to see.
Crazy people that I know, I will dodge them. But it's because I just don't want to talk to them.
A crazy person in a heartbeat.
I'm not talking about that.
I
Though.
know.
I'm talking about normal people.
I'm just saying, I'll dodge people too, but it ain't. I'm gonna dodge a friend. I'll go out of my way.
Exactly.
If I see a friend, if I see like one of my close friends in the store and I wasn't expecting to see them, I go out of my way to make an awkward situation for them. I may catcall them or something like that.
Oh my word! Okay, so I have an actual story about this, and it made me so mad when it happened. Me and Mom were at the marketplace in Citronelle, and I was walking down this aisle, and there were these two men that just kept like eyeballing me, and it was making me really uncomfortable. And I finally like walked past them, and they were just like eyeballing me as they walked by me, and it was so uncomfortable. The next thing I know, somebody slaps my rear end, and I think it's them because I just walked past them a couple minutes ago, and I am furious. And I turn around. I was about to say like fly around, but I like twisted around so fast, and I was gonna like. I'm not a confrontational person, but I was furious. I turned around and it was Bethany. And I was so like mortified. I was just like, oh. But yeah, like friendships that will just make you do funny stuff is the best. We would always go to like academy and places like that and put on like the athletic helmets and everything. And me and Adam would like
athletic helmets.
Well, whatever, it's not like bike helmets, but we would go to
football helmet.
Shut up. Baseball helmets,
Baseball
like
helmet.
all those. Anyway, I'm gonna cut that out. I'll leave it in there. Who cares? But me and Adam would like climb into like different little shelving units and everything that have like the dog beds and stuff in there, and it was just a fun time. Like we always had so much fun. But it's those kind of friendships that I like cherish.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's like a youthful friendship. So like, what do you do now that you're an adult? Do you just keep the friendships that you have burning, or do you try to get more friends? I find value in having a smaller group of friends.
Definitely. Quality over quantity.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
So, like, look, this is how I categorize things. Your salvation, your family, your friends.
Right.
Your friends should definitely be third on the list.
Yeah.
So there's a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase the quote because I could say it, but I'm not going to say it because it has some dirty words in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't do
There's a comedian. He was telling a story, and he was making a statement, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of my favorite things I've ever heard. He says, if you give me 3 bad motor scooters, I can take over the world.
Yeah.
He said, give me 3 friends. He said, that's all I need. You don't need 5 million friends.
Right.
You just need a small core group.
Right.
If there's 5 of you in that core group,
Right.
that bond right there can be so tight,
Right.
nothing can penetrate it.
Yep.
So, to me, friendship is extremely valuable, and I
It is.
value my friendships.
Me too.
So, I try to be a good friend,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe subconsciously, I don't know it, or I don't know, but subconsciously, I do try to make sure that I stay in touch with my friends to keep it alive, keep it fresh, keep it relevant,
Yeah.
so I don't lose touch with them.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I was wanting to mention on this podcast was, while I love my core friendships and like I'm not really seeking out new friendships, mainly because it gives me so much anxiety. But I remember how it felt as a teenager, having those kind of fears and, not really having the confidence to not really having the confidence to make friendships, I guess I should say. And I remember whenever me and you first got married, we started going to a particular church in Saraland. And I was so nervous because I know how it was with our church, and our church it was a small church, but we had such a tight-knit group of friends. And so anytime that any kind of visitor or new member would start coming to our church that was our age and they would try to get in our youth group, I mean, it wasn't intentional that we kind of like
Shun them.
well, not really shun them, but, it was just hard for them to find their place in our friendship group because it was like a clique. And it wasn't
so tight there wasn't nothing
yeah,
gonna
it wasn't
penetrate it.
intentional, but
I feel like, hold on, you can continue on in just a second, but I want to say this. Sometimes I feel like when that happens, that person can't get in there. Maybe that person would have been bad for the group.
yes and
You know what I mean? I
Yes
feel like
and
if
no.
that person was meant for the group, that they would have molded in just fine. Just take, hold on, take Adam's wife, for example. She come right in and she fit right in with us.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
She really did. I understand what you're saying. But to my point is...
Ashley's her name, by the way. Sorry.
Ashley does have a name. Hi, Ashley. No, but to my point, whenever we started going to this church in Saraland, they had a young couples Bible study. And I was so nervous. I didn't know anybody hardly. I knew one person mainly because, like, it was by proxy that I knew her. Like, other people kind of knew her that I knew. So, anyway, me and Justin started going to this Bible study. And I was nervous as I don't know what. But I was, honestly, if I'm truthful with myself, I was excited. Because here is my chance as an adult to start making some friends outside of my childhood friends. And that was a big step for me. And so I was honestly excited about it, but I was nervous at the same time.
Right.
Well, anyway, the teacher wanted us to pair off and to actually have accountability buddies to text and just to check in on each other and make sure that, we were reading what we were supposed to read, and like if we had any questions to kind of bounce them off of each other. And I ended up pairing up with this one girl, and I was excited about it because, like, I don't know, I just wanted that connection. And it just did not. And I know not everybody's the same, and, like, I could have been paired up with somebody else and it would have, worked out, whatever. But she basically ended up ghosting me. Like,
But
and it wasn't.
It's not the girl that you knew in there.
No. I didn't know her. The girl that I
Just
ended
a
up
complete stranger.
Yeah, it was a complete stranger, and we did text back and forth for like 1 to 2 kind of days, but it wasn't like anything extreme, like maybe 2 or 3 exchanges a day. And I was just asking her like how long she had been going there. She said her entire life, like, and I was like, well, I understand how that feels, because I came from a church like that too, where I was like childhood friends, and it just did not go anywhere. Basically ghosted me, and it was so uncomfortable. Like, I remember just feeling like a complete loser because I couldn't even make one friend. And I just remember how that felt. And it was awful because I was so excited. But now that I view those kind of like feelings and stuff, and I remember how I was in high school with like making outside the school friendships, now I view other people and I'm just like, I will be your friend. I will be that person that is your friend.
Yeah.
Whenever you can't make a friend. I just want to be that person. That's a good
mantra to have.
I guess, but like, I don't know. I want to be that person that's somebody's friend whenever they feel like they can't have a friend. Like, for instance, I mean, I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back or anything. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I saw one of my friends from high school posted on their timeline on Facebook, like, sometimes on my darkest days is when I feel like, or when I realize I don't have any friends. And so I just commented, and I was like, hey, I'm always a DM away. Like, just hit me up anytime. Like, I'm always here. But nobody else commented, and it had been on there for, like, a couple of days. Like, you know how sad that is that we can't even, like, muster up any kind of compassion for somebody and just say, hey, I'm here if you need me. Like, friendships, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a super deep, meaningful relationship for it to just mean something super great for somebody else. Anyway, that's my little TED Talk for this afternoon.
That was good, though. I mean,
I don't know. Like, it just broke my heart, like, to know that people like myself struggle and people just don't care.
Yeah. So.
Or not that they don't care. They get caught up in their own lives. I get it. Stuff's happening, but.
Yeah. I mean.
Sometimes you need to step back and see the big picture.
Like I said earlier, you got to make time for friends.
Right.
I mean, that's
and even if
super
it's not
important.
your friend, just to make time to be a friend to somebody that needs a friend. I think that's molded me a lot.
I'm going to ask this question. Maybe you have an answer for it, maybe you don't, or you maybe you have a response.
Sure my infinite wisdom, I'll have an answer.
No, it's not that kind of question. It's gonna. I'm trying to trigger a memory for you. Is what I'm trying to ask.
That's never fun.
Do you have a moment that, whether it was you or whether it was a friend for you, that y'all had a ride or die moment together? Like right then and there, you knew this friend's a ride or die friend, or I'm going to be ride or die for this person.
I would say me and Bethany.
Like, do you have a moment though?
I mean, I wouldn't say no, I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm an open book. It's nothing like a particular moment, but more like a constellation of moments that created a bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, she was more like friends with my older friends because she was a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
But as time went on, it kind of like exposed like true friends, you know. But I would say me going through my darkest times, she was always there. Like, she was always checking on me. And I mean, she may not feel that way, but she was. Like, I knew she was always there. And I mean, I know that a lot of my friends would have been there if I would have reached out. But I know for a fact, like, I was on the phone with her one night and she was like, you know, just pleading with me to, you know, basically come to my senses because I was a lost little sheep. But I would say that in particular.
I have a moment. I'm going to step back. I'm going to tell a story on here I'm going to say something on here that's never been said.
Ever?
Ever.
You never even told me?
You know.
Oh.
But when I was 20 years old, I made one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
Oh, yeah.
I got married. And not to Liz. That was funny. I have been married before, and it's a young, dumb mistake. It happened. It was 2.5 years. Whatever. We're not going to get into any details. It wasn't great. So, through all that, when it was winding down and I knew divorce was in my future, I was so worried about the I told you so's. Granted, I didn't get any. I didn't get not a one. But
the fear of that, though,
the
is
fear of
pretty
that,
strong.
yeah. But through all that, Austin was like super good.
Yeah.
He was there for the whole thing. Like, even he was there for some of the bad. I mean, he heard some of the arguments. He heard some of the fights. You know, it was just, it was difficult, but it needed to be dissolved, the marriage. And he was very instrumental in making sure, which I don't feel like I was in a fear of going down any dark space or anything like that. But he was really good about being there and staying a constant friend through the whole thing. And so, I think I've told him, but I need to make sure I tell him one day that he really, really helped me by being there and by being a great friend. Yeah. He has no idea the impact he had. And I'll forever be grateful for that. Forever. Yeah. Because he was, now, if anybody gave me an I told you so, not an I told you so, but a more or less was like, dude, what was you thinking when all of it was over with? It was him. Yeah. He's the one person that shot it straight to me. Yeah. My family didn't. They just kind of was like, look, you'll rebound from this. Don't worry about it. Everybody makes a mistake. Maybe not quite like this, but everybody makes bad mistakes. But out of all the people, you know, he did shoot me straight.
Yeah.
You know, he told me that, you know, maybe that wasn't the best thing to do and yada yada. But during everything, though, he never said a word. He tried to be friends with her. He was definitely my friend, and he's the best ride or die friend that you could have because he's super loyal. He's loyal to a fault, and I'll be forever grateful for him. Forever.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Bethany, because she was always there. I mean, granted, I didn't always allow her to be there because I basically exiled myself from all my friends during my, like, crazy time. So my crazy time was, and I say crazy because, I mean, I wanted to escape reality. That's where I was at. And my parents were getting divorced whenever I turned 18. My dad was wanting to wait until I graduated high school to divorce my mom, which made my graduation more like a deadline for my parents. So it made it super miserable. So I sought out companionship, not necessarily relational companionship, let's put it that way. And I ended up getting stuck. He wanted a relationship. I did not. And he was 12 years my senior. Like, even actually more than that. He was 14 years my senior. Like, it was a bad situation. We worked together, so it was horrible. I don't know why, but at the time I felt like if I ended things that I would get let go from where I was working. And I know that's not true now looking back at it, but at the age that I was at, like, I just knew that I was going to be fired.
Yeah.
And I had a car payment. Not that that should amount to anything, but I just felt the weight of I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. And Bethany was, you know, trying to get me to see reality, see where I was at, what things were doing. Like, she was praying for me so bad. I feel so bad now looking at it. But it broke her heart. But I'm getting sappy. But
hold it together, man.
Like, trying to hold a dam together, you know, with a pair of
language.
No, like a dam, like a water dam.
Oh.
Anyway. Yeah, it was just a really bad situation. And I was just spiraling, you know. And she did try to help me as much as she could, and I'll forever be grateful for that because I know she was there. But I just didn't exactly take her up on it. But that did help me because I knew that, you know, no matter what, she would be there. But I just went through some stuff after that. You know, I kept trying to grasp at different straws and stuff and trying to regain, you know, stability or whatever, but it just was not happening. And finally, you know, I had to go back to the Lord. I had to go back to church. And from there, I was able, because, you know, everything else got wiped out from underneath me. My parents got wiped out from underneath me. My childhood home got wiped out from underneath me. I was out of school, so that norm went away too. Like, every norm that I had went away. And I felt like my faith went away because my parents quit going to church. My brother kind of quit going to church. My sister was constant, but she was pretty much up in Tuscaloosa at the time. She wasn't down here. And so I didn't feel like I had anything that was stable. But the one thing that was constant that I could turn to was the Lord. So I turned back to that, or him, and that helped me so much, obviously.
Yeah.
And then from there, I prayed, and I was like, Lord, just, if it's your will, just send me who I'm supposed to be with. Like, I don't want to be with anybody right now. Like, I just went through so much. Like, I dated so many different people, and it was horrible. Like, just me putting myself in so many bad situations. But, yeah, So I prayed and I was like, Lord, just let the next one be the one because I'm just done.
Then I showed up in a FedEx package the next day.
More like in my DMs because he couldn't ask me out in person because somebody kept talking to me at Andrews and he was getting aggravated, I guess. I don't know. That was a whole other story for a whole different situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bethany was just always there. And I have a lot of other friends that were always there too. I'm not trying to just pinpoint her out of the rest of them, but I felt her more than the rest. And they had their own things going on at the time. I get it, but
right. So you did have a ride or die moment with her. You just didn't want to tell the story.
It wasn't a moment. It was more like
Well,
I said, a bunch of different moments
was
that
a
made up
big-
a greater picture.
Well. Either way, it all stemmed from like this one instance, pretty much. Is what I was getting at. That's kind of what I. Either way, you got your point across. It was a good point. Yeah, definitely not to take anything away from our other friends when we tell these stories. It's just like.
Because Adam was always there too. Like after I went back to church and everything, like me and him got super close because I forget where, I think Bethany, I think that's whenever Brother Steve started pastoring his own church. And so it was basically just me and Adam at that point at the church. And so me and him hung out like a lot. Like we'd go to, we'd just go like out to eat and stuff like that every Sunday night and stuff. Like we were just like really good friends. Plus at one point I was living at the church. Like it was a toxic situation at my house. My mom was going through it with a divorce and, you know, she didn't like the fact that I was staying the night at my dad's house sometimes. And it was just horrible. I mean, I know this is very transparent, but it was a very horrible situation going back to her after having visited my father because she viewed that as me taking his side.
Yeah.
And that wasn't it at all. I just really needed my dad. Like, he is my person. Like, you know. So it was just a really bad situation. So me living at the church, like, that's how me and him got really close.
Right. And you stole his Mulan movies.
Yeah. Sorry, Adam. I still have that DVD.
It'll be wore out before you get it back. Emery watches it like 4 times a day.
Let's face it. I watch it, and I just make her sit there. And anyway. But, yeah. So me and him became close because of that, and I love that friendship, though. Like, he is such a funny person. And then him meeting Ashley and getting married to her, like, oh, my word. She is such a good person.
Funny.
And me and her so similar. I don't know about me being funny, but she is a hilarious
well,
person.
other people apparently think you're funny.
Apparently. I've had somebody tell me this past weekend that they couldn't believe how funny I was. And I was like, I can't believe you think I'm funny. So, but either way, I'm going to, try to keep my head small on this podcast. And I'm an awkward laugher, y'all. I'm so sorry. I laughed whenever Justin was talking about his serious situation with his divorce.
Everybody laughed about that, to be honest with you.
I just have an awkward laugh, and I try to control it. I really do, because my aunt has an awkward laugh, and I just really don't want an awkward laugh.
I believe somebody could chop her leg off at the shin bone with a hatchet.
And she'd laugh about it.
And she'd chuckle about it. She'd be like, that hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like,
she is such a sweet person.
She is.
Though.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's funny. It's just
that's just her nature.
Your dad's that way a little bit too, though.
Yeah, it's just an awkwardness in our family. It runs in the family. It
comes from the Browns or something.
Either the Browns or the Smiths. I wouldn't think Grandpa
There's
would
only
be a
two
laugher.
on that side.
I wouldn't think Grandpa would be a laugher. Although Grandma is really feisty, so maybe she's not a laugher either. I don't know where it came from. Maybe it came from being raised by them. That made me laugh. Anyway.
Well, speaking of Adam's wife Ashley coming in, and the girl can bake.
Oh gosh.
The girl can throw down when it comes to baking desserts. And I had seen a thing earlier because I knew we were doing this on friendship, so I did a little reading. Of all the stuff in there, the whole article was really good from the Mayo Clinic. But one thing that stuck out in my mind, in particular, was the thing where it said friendships can help your BMI, which is your
bigger
body mass index.
It was trying to say, though.
It was trying to say that it helps. Friendships can
make you healthier.
Make you healthier. It promotes you to go work out and to be healthy and to be a slimmer, trimmer person.
I don't
And
know what
if
kind of
anybody,
friends they have.
for real, they must have like vegan
But they
friends
ain't
or
our
something.
friends.
We like to eat.
Because our friends promote a negative BMI.
like
you ain't gonna have a healthy relationship with food in our friendship
my
group.
brother got engaged last night, and afterwards we all was like, hey,
Let's go out to eat.
let's go out to eat. I wasn't even that hungry. I go and sat down. We have a table. I mean, there's like what 10? There was 10 of us
We
in the
had,
group
like,
that last night.
3 appetizers on that table.
3 or 4 appetizers. Everybody had a giant piece of chicken or a giant steak, and then it was just like this.
That's friendship.
That was definitely written by a Yankee up north, because down here in the South, when we get together,
Everything's
we gonna
about
eat.
food.
We gonna
And
put some food down.
It ain't gonna be no celery.
No, there's not gonna be no celery sticks and ranch dressing. Who wants that? I did eat a salad last night, but
Snapping carrots.
yeah, no.
No.
We over here like we want
I
the
was
stuffed
like, I wonder where
mushrooms.
Actually, I wonder if you can figure out where that Mayo Clinic is.
The Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, like what is the Mayo Clinic? First off, Mayo Clinic. Was that Mayo sick? Corny joke of the day.
Mayonnaise.
Insert drums here.
The Mayo Clinic, I think, is in California.
That makes sense.
I could be completely. It could be in Florida. I don't know.
What friends are promoting each other to be healthy, though? Like, I get it. Like, true friends want you to be healthy. But our friends definitely don't do that. We definitely talk about diets. We actually started a diet group, so maybe that's true.
Yeah.
We did start like a diet
Well,
competition.
hold on now.
And then we got like 1 week into it and quit.
Adam won the first challenge.
Yeah, he got
Ended
$20.
after that.
He took the $20 and ran.
The Mayo Clinic's. I told you I was probably wrong, and it was probably in Florida.
Is it in Florida?
They got one in Arizona, they got one in Florida, and one in Minnesota. Definitely Arizona's probably where that article's written out of, if I had to guess.
Who knows?
Rochester, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Florida, and Phoenix and Scottsdale, Arizona.
Well, y'all just let us know if y'all's friendships promote a healthier BMI. Because ours definitely does not.
It does. I mean, it's healthy if you're eating carrot cake or key lime pie. That's fruits and vegetables right there.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like,
We ate cheese at our party. Cheesecake.
yeah, for real. No wine. The only wine that was there is when we run out of cheesecake. And we're like, we run out of cheesecake. That's your corny joke of the day.
That was a very corny joke. That wasn't even funny to me.
Dang.
That's pretty bad.
That was a bad joke if it wasn't funny to you.
I know. I'm the dad joke connoisseur.
Well, look. Y'all leave in the comments what friendship
If
means
you
to you.
can.
If you can. You may be
Some of
listening to
these-
this on
no,
Apple
some of these-
Podcasts.
Yeah, some of these don't have comment.
But if you're listening to this on YouTube, go to the comments, drop in there what friendship means to you.
I mean, of course they're going to be all sappy, Justin.
So?
Just know if they support a healthier BMI is what I want to know. Because what friends are over here going, let's have celery for dinner tonight.
And kale steaks.
Oh, gosh. Kale ain't that bad, though. You like
No,
my
kale's
massage kale
actually good.
salads.
But a kale steak? Or is it
Have y'all
cauliflower
heard
steak?
of, I know this is kind of getting drawn out a little bit, but do y'all
Either way.
like massaged kale salads? Have you ever heard of a massaged kale salad? Because kale is kind of,
Course.
yeah, I don't know. So what you do is you massage your kale to where it's really soft. Obviously, you take out the stems and stuff as you're going because they're everywhere up in some kale. But once you massage that kale to where it's super, super soft, then you throw some Greek seasoning up in there, some feta cheese, some camelata olives. I think I said that right. Don't come after me. So freaking good.
How'd that sound go? You sound like an old lady whose teeth just fell out of her head.
Tastes so good, y'all. It's so good.
It was good that day.
But anyway.
You made 'em.
That's my healthy thing of the day.
That's our BMI tip of the day.
Yeah, exactly. But thank y'all for joining our podcast. We will give you another one next Tuesday.
No, we won't actually.
Why?
We'll be on vacation.
We gonna give one anyway. We some troopers. We already skipped 1 week for them, and then 1 week we had to let them listen to my grandpa. So I should really thank them for that one. That was a doozy.
Anyway, look, we hope y'all enjoyed this. This is what friendship means to us.
Exactly. And I ain't going to edit a dang thing out of this one because it was pretty smooth. Usually we're over here like, what should I say next? But this one ain't had none of that.
No, this
so
one
I
was
ain't
really
editing
good.
a dang thing. I'll probably take some snippets and add it to the very beginning to like give it a little intro. But
You can edit all this
is-
crap out.
heck no. They're going to have to know what I do around here. But anyway, we hope y'all have a great afternoon, great ride, great walk, whatever you're doing listening to this thing. Bless you. And we'll see you next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.